Welcome to Verbal Brick Radio, where we give you a verbal image of life, and we are everyday. People like to welcome y'all to the show. This is an ongoing continuation with my special guest, Marcus Muhd, and dealing with several issues, but we're going to combine these several issues. One, now it's being stated by what we would call the right-wing media and the right-wingers. Now they're saying that there is no systematic or systemic racism. We got to tie that in. Then we got to tie in dealing with this up and coming election. And also we have to deal with Ice Cube C.B.A. contract with Black America. And we're getting ready to ride. So everybody, y'all jump in the car. We're going to ride for a minute. We're going to drop y'all safe. We're going to move on to another day. Marcus Muhd, what's up, bro? Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, sir. How you doing?
Pretty good. Man, and first of all, I'd like to say to all the journalists and to those that have platforms out there, I do appreciate the dialogue. Even if some of your dialogue stem from this show, Verbal Peak Radio. And also, I'm glad to see a lot of people out there that has swagger now who is hyped and ready to go. And I appreciate that. Let's get ready to move. But now, one thing that I said on a previous podcast, which was deemed controversial, is I stated that don't listen to celebrities. Don't trust celebrities because they are celebrities, and some of the things that they have to do to get to the top, some of the boots they got to lick to get to where they're trying to go, and some of the monies that they have to pay back from people who they borrowed the monies from, they got to get that money back. So they're not 100% free to represent in the way that black people need to be represented. Some celebrities can only go so far, but the attention will draw up enough interest, which will later on lead to their product, or i.e. if they have a new movie or a new song, new album, new clothing line, whatever coming out, and it gets the people stirred up and ready to move, and then at the end of the day, we back where we started from with less energy. That's why I like what Grandmaster Jay stated when you and I were in Lafayette, and he told the people, stop coming to these protests with picket signs and songs. Where your guns at? Get your CHL and come up here with a gun. We ready to roll. Words is good. You know what I mean? We okay. Because before every interaction, there's words, because we sit down and we can negotiate and become diplomatic about a situation before it leads to physical violence, and hopeful level heads will reveal, and things will cool down, and we can all get to an understanding, and we can move forward and come to a peaceful resolution. So, but with that being said, we want to break down this first, right, Brother Mark, with the 3-on-3 league, Ice Cube and his partner, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Donald Trump, and Steve Bannon. What do they all have in common? I mean, what is that story about? Because I didn't do that detailed research, but I know you looked into it.
What I discovered was that Ice Cube's partner with the 3-on-3 league is the financial partner of the organization. Ice Cube is the face of the league. So they worked out a deal with Qatar's financial consultants or advisors.
Right, and that's Qatar, that's in the Middle East.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And so this Qatar has a financial institution that pretty much runs the country. It's like the CFO of the country. This institution that Ice Cube's partner, I can't remember how to pronounce his name. It's some kind of Wits.
Yeah, Kawana Wits, Kwan something Wits.
Yeah, right. I can't pronounce that.
Right.
But that guy, he got into a negotiation with Qatar's CFO, in effect. So before it all really took place, really transpired into a full-on deal where people were doing what they signed up to do, the deal fell through. And they got into a contractual dispute and went into litigation. And that's why, if you're wondering why the 3-on-3 league really didn't take off, like I was wondering, like, right. Wow, that was a great idea. I mean, I can't see how they could fail. Everybody want to see celebrities go 3-on-3 against one another.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's right.
So, but it never really took off, and the reason because they got into a contractual dispute where they're saying that the Qatar individual didn't come through with all of the monies that he promised to come through with.
Uh-huh.
So, of course, that led to the Wits guy getting a little, going Roger Stone on the guy and starting to smear his name in the public so that he can have sway in the courtroom.
Mm-hmm.
So he started saying things like Qatar. Mm-hmm. He wasn't really saying this individual. He started running Qatar through the comb. So,
okay.
Of course, we know Qatar helped out the Cuomos when Trump was shrugging him off during the pandemic, when the pandemic was first at its height in New York, and things were looking apocalyptic. Qatar bailed him out in a sense. And so when you see Cuomo's little brother on CNN try to square Cube off with the lie that you ran to Trump, because Trump and Qatar and Steve Bannon and what's his son-in-law's name?
Kushner.
They all just fell out with Qatar because Qatar didn't want to play ball with them. So
Qatar didn't want to play ball with the 3-on-3 league.
With the Trumps.
Yeah, with Trump. Okay.
Right, because the Trumps, they wanted to play. You remember when they went over there in the Middle East and saying they're going to bring peace with the Muslim Brotherhood in between Saudi Arabia and Iraq, and started playing the hero, him and Kushner, and then he left Kushner in charge of that, as if Kushner knew anything about it or what to do if he did know anything about it. It was all about, of course, the oil. We all, anybody's stupid.
Right.
So Qatar didn't want to play that game. So they swayed the favor against Qatar and went with Saudi Arabia. So now, you see Trump all buddy-buddy with
Saudi Arabia.
With the Saudi Arabia, with the Caliph. I mean, whatever they want to call him, the imam.
Right.
Now they're homeboys.
Right.
So now you see Qatar bailing out Cuomo. Cuomo and Trump don't get along.
Right.
So you get Cube coming out saying, I want to do something for black people. And, of course, we all know how Trump is, and his campaign is hot right now. He's in a little bit of trouble. He got to win. And so they just took advantage of the brother and put it in the public as though Cube ran to the Trump campaign and said, let's make America great again, put the red hat on, and said, I'm down with it. Everybody need to come with me. But that's not what happened. Cube had an agenda. He had it on paper. He had a plan. And he had an organization behind it. And he presented that to both campaigns. What's his name? Biden had no interest in it. I'm running for president. I ain't got time for black people shit. Right. Except for when black people come vote. That's it. Right. Okay. Trump said, he saw a little bit down the line. So somebody did. Steve Bannon somebody had a little bit of vision and said, hey, we can use this and use Cube. And so they use it and they use Cube. And so Cube, you know, what can he do with Negroes, sellouts, Uncle Toms, and weak-kneed Negroes that want attention, trying to get attention? Nobody's paying them no mind because they're irrelevant. What they saying is no good. And now they want to dog Cube as if Cube tried to mess up their momentum to get Biden in office. You know, like, hey, you know, leave boss alone, you know.
Right.
Get away from Massa.
Right. Now the point that I'm at is where are we, or when will we be able to trust Trump or Biden? This shows that we have to go at it at ourselves, and we have to start thinking like free individuals and build our own society like the Asians did. Then had you go in Bel Air, they got a whole Asian society community, street signs and all.
Yes, sir.
With our 1.3 to 1.4 trillion that we bring in, if we don't take advantage of that and we do it, I honestly, I don't know if they're going to give us reparations, but with the character that the colonizer has, the only way he would do it is if he can control it and it's in his best interest. He's not going to do it if it's in our best interest.
Right.
Because they don't want to let us go and take our wealth with us.
Yes, sir, exactly.
So and I'm not criticizing Q at all. The only thing I'm saying is you have to know who you're dealing with.
Yes.
Now, the rappers actually made Trump. They gave Trump free publicity because a lot of rappers put Trumps in their song. I didn't hear Cube do it, but I know Nelly did and some other rappers, and they mentioned Trump in their songs, and you know, as if like Nelly said, Bill Gates, Donald Trump let me in. Now, like they hold the ticket, they hold the key to your success.
True history.
Now, I heard Trump say that when he was running for the presidency the first time, and when Jeb Bush and all of them was on stage, and Trump told them, and in the audience, he said, most of the people you see up here on stage with me borrowed money from me at one time or another. Right? And he said, and when I expect to collect, I expect to collect. Meaning you owe me something for this money. Now, one thing you got to realize with celebrities, right? A lot of them, they craft is they artists. That's their craft. But as far as understanding how business structures, or no, I take that back. They know how the game work because they under the label and they see how the labels deal, even though they not getting their hands dirty, right? So it's almost like the mafia in a sense. You know, hell, ain't nothing for free. If I bail you up out of a situation, if I loan you some money or whatnot, I'm not doing this out the kindness of my heart. You got to put something on the table. That's how Trump operates.
That's right.
That's the game. So the thing that gets me is, not me. Because what we do here at Verbal Pick Radio, you have to understand, is so many different mindsets that listens to this show and that's out there, right? And out of these mindsets, everybody wants their question answered, right? And so one of the questions is one, right? knowing who the colonizer is, why not go at him with a full force of people? Now, I'm not saying Cube did, but now people are saying, well, damn, Cube, I would have went with you. Why don't you come, let's work together. Meaning, can you go, can one man or can a few men go at this beast alone and get success, or do you need a whole army?
But since I've been checking this out, I've been hearing Cube say repetitively, I told everybody what I was going to do. I told you what I was going to do. I don't know what that means because I'm not in that world.
Right.
But that may mean something because he keeps saying it.
That means he went to some black people that had a platform and some positions of power and said, hey, this is what I'm finna do. Y'all come on with me. He probably got turned down and said, well, the hell with it. I'm moving anyway.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Okay.
He keeps saying it over and over again. You got to pay attention, bro. I mean, I ain't saying you, but audience members, because I'm hearing a lot of throw Cube under the bus talk. But Negroes got to look into things, bro. We don't get nowhere going at things uninformed.
Right. And me personally, this not about throwing Cube under the bus. This is simply about strategic strategies on how you accomplish a goal and get a goal accomplished, because you leave a void when you go at something and it don't get accomplished. Then that creates a whole dynamic, a whole paradigm of problems you have to deal with because you lose your footing. Because the beast always ready to attack. So when you gain the beast's attention, you got to keep pushing forward. You can't backtrack, because once you backtrack, he's not gonna let you recover that ground that you initially started with when you first met him. That's why, like you stated, after the contract with Black America, here come Trump, September the 20th. I mean, it was September in 2020. I think it was September 22nd. Yeah, September the 22nd of 2020, he comes out with his executive order. Reason why he come out with his executive order is because now, by words alone, he's saying, wait a minute. Now, from now on, America is not a systemic racist country, and in the workforce, you can't use these terms no more. We had this battle. In Trump mind, we won the battle. So watch how the rules start changing. It's like this. It's like every time a black person get killed by the police and we say no justice, no peace. Then another one get killed and we say no justice, no peace. Then another get killed, we say no justice, no peace, until they like, oh, well, the hell with it. You had me the first time, but if I didn't see nothing behind it until after George Floyd, other people got involved and there was actually no peace around the globe. Now, okay, well, let's look at it. You know what I mean? Because people been pushed so far in the corner to where you got meaning your actions. You got to bag up your words with action. If you don't bag up your words with action, you're just talking.
True.
And that's how reason being. Now, the reason being is because the colonizer, he showed you. Look here, man, give me liberty, give me death. You know what? Yeah, I know a bunch of Native Americans on this land, i.e. our people. But I'm finna snatch this land up. This is mine. You want it back, go get your guns. Billy, get your guns. You know what I mean? And so, my point is, once again, the point I'm making is we in such a critical time to where if we not gonna unify as a people, then those of us who want to separate from the Americas, let's separate and go build something of our own and leave the ones that who feel like that they can negotiate and get something out the colonizer. Y'all keep on working on that, and one day you might. One day he might really actually take you serious. I doubt it, but okay. But at least the effort was put forth. But I'm saying this to say, to go back to Byron Allen, when he tried to sue Viacom and he used that 1866 Civil Rights Act, right? Because there was other lawyers who was going to sue him as well and use that same 1866 Civil Rights Act, but because we did a show on it, they bagged out because they knew, damn, if we lose this thing, we gonna give up a whole lot of ground. Because you dealing with a wise devil, man. You dealing with a wise snake. This snake ain't no dummy. You know, this is crucial. We not fighting for us today. We fighting for our next generation that's coming behind us. Right? So they can have some land, some opportunities, some quality education and whatnot. And this is chess. You know, you can't run out in the street and, you know, you in the streets now. It's too late to turn back and run back to the curb. Hell, you in the middle of all these cars coming. You gonna barbecue a meal, dude. Is all I'm saying. I'm not down in Cube for having a playing card contract with Black America, right? Because I'm listening to the rhetoric on these right-wing shows. They're saying, why do we need a contract with Black America when there's no systemic racism? America is not a racist country, and there is no racism amongst the police department. That's what they saying. Now it's like, now how do we prove them wrong?
What you're saying is that if we get out there and we go for what's true, and we go strong, and then we get back down, get turned down, then that sets a precedence so that they can say the next time, hey, we already did this, we already discussed it, we talked about that, and this is what it is. So anybody after this, they come along and want to talk about it again,
it's a dead
there's
issue.
the precedent.
Come on, it's a dead issue. That's right. What I'm saying, brother. More, it's a dead. You will make it a dead issue. It'll do more harm than good, is what I'm saying. Because you're dealing with the beast.
Right.
That's my point, bro. That's the point I'm trying to make. I could be wrong. But I'm saying I studied this beast, man. I know what he's gonna do, and I know why he's gonna do it. Because his back against the wall. Man, look. For one, he always got to find ways to make his people money. And he do that now since it's not that many of them, and black folks have made money by filing lawsuits against racism and killings, and Breonna Taylor got $12 million out of the deal. They want to restructure it now to where they can file too, even though they are the oppressors. They want to.
That's right.
Yeah, they want.
That's what the executive order does.
Yes, that's what the executive order do. But what I'm saying is, the executive order came after certain actions that we took. And it's like when we put our grievance on the table, right? And we got the lawyers and they go down there, right? And they fight. You don't get the justice you deserve. But they say, well, I tell you what, we'll give you some money. We'll buy you out. Right? But we can never admit to white supremacy or systemic racism, because if we do, then now we have to be held responsible for that. Now we have to pay some type of reparations to the people, or behind that, now we can start saying, okay, yeah, black folk was kidnapped and brought over here, and that's a crime, so you owe them some type of justice for that. You know, it's certain things they not going to admit to it. We got to force them to admit to it by a strategic, mathematical, analytical way. In order for them to, because they only gonna do what's in their best interest. Whereas 3/5 of a human being. And how they document. I mean, I'm just appalled. I'm here. I mean, left and right, not just one. Now the cry is America is not a racist country, even though you got slavery. Where the scholars at that's showing the mental change, the mental conditions that passed on through generations because of slavery that created the wealth gap and so many other things. I mean, why aren't they saying, well, damn, okay, you saying that America's not a racist country, then let's get our scholars together and you get your scholars together and let's deal. Because they feel like, and forgive me for rambling though, because this is a touchy subject for me, man. They feel like that I'm white, and if I come out there and say America's not a racist country, then so be it. So it was said, and so it is. And then we say, well, now America is a racist country, you know, so and so. Well, we dealt with some of your highest celebrities, some of your highest politicians, some of your highest preachers and leaders, and they didn't say what you saying. So the issue off the table, y'all run along and go play somewhere so we can continue grown folk business and do what we gotta do. And and if you come back up here again, you better make sure you got an army. We gonna be like Mr. Burns and stick the hounds on you.
Now, as far as that goes, that's what we ought to rethink. We ought to look at again, because why is it that if we gone on, it got to be planned? Why have to be y'all gone on and play?
Yeah, because
I'm not saying, huh?
Yes, sir, bro. Because they always called us boys and gals, and they expect boys and gals to go play.
Well, that's right. I mean, that's what come out of their mouth. Now, if we take what come out of their mouth as the gospel, then that's what we do. We do what Master say. We go play. But to me, with the problem that we having, we shouldn't be thinking about playing.
Right.
Just because we're not in the presence of our former slave masters. If we're not in the presence of our former slave masters, we need to be thinking like we thought when we were first out of slavery, building 60 cities, building 60 Black Wall Streets.
Come on. That's what I'm saying, Mark.
We didn't need them in our presence. We didn't need them anywhere around. We weren't trying to stop them from doing what they're doing. And as far as they went about their business at that point, they weren't trying to stop us either. They was just of the thought of just nigga go, you know, and
right.
That was that.
We started making money.
But we started making money. We made a life.
That's right.
We made a society. We made an economic institution.
Better than what they had.
We made a world.
That's right. Then what happened?
You know,
That's right. But we're better than what they had. Then what was their response to it?
Well, they saw that we wasn't ready to defend what we made and built, and they came and crashed it. So, but what I'm saying is, if we're going to learn anything from the past to answer some of the questions of the present, then we should really start getting out of going to them to find satisfaction for our needs and to fulfill our purpose in life. We don't have to go and run to them or to fix our problems. It's not mandatory that we run to them and do that.
Right.
Or for that.
That's right.
That's our problem.
That's our problem.
We still trying to be validated by our enemy.
Right.
By our oppressor.
Right. And he can't validate it. Because if he do,
he will not.
He would have to admit he was wrong.
He will not.
Right.
I mean, he would have to admit that he was wrong. And if you admit that you're wrong, that means you got to pay, you got to make amends.
Or atone, bro. Or atone.
Or atone.
Come on, man.
Simple as that, But they don't want to do that. They don't, that's not the way they made.
Right.
Think about it. They didn't build a country on grace and on inclusion. They built the country out of their own nature. It's subdue whoever's there, supplant, take over, and build mine. And whoever's left around, make them do it.
That's right. But it's like hip hop, right? Like rap hip hop. Like hip hop rap. You got the message jumping off. We had poor righteous teachers, public enemy. You know what I mean? Even ghetto boys, crooked officer. Then what happened? They had a meeting. This positive rap and y'all dropping knowledge and science on it, and y'all trying to rotate on this guard frequency. The white boy been wanted to take it over, but he been wanted to change the direction of hip hop as far as the lyrical content of it. But he needs some willing participants to do it, right? Mm-hmm. So he go have a meeting, California, and talk to some people, some artists and some groups and whatnot. Then, and like us Too Short even said, he was like, man, I wanted to put out some positive stuff, but the record labels was like, nah, you can do that on your next album. He said it never came to fruition. Like you say, what's the game? Look here, man, no, right here where you call your woman a queen, we gonna need to change that to a bitch right here. We gonna give you more money for it. That's when I be saying, man, you can't listen to these celebrities. Or you got strong celebrities, right? Except for David Chappelle. Hey, man, go on, throw this old dress on. Go on, press it, right? That's what we white. We own the company. This is what we want to see you do. There you go, throw the dress on. Look here, don't talk about that black empowerment and we gonna overcome and all that. No, man. Look here, man. We need you to put some more guns in your hand. We need you to shoot talk about some more dope, and we need you to create chaos because what Jerry Heller tell him in that NWA movie, scare white folk, man. There's more money when white folks scared. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, that's good. Yeah, you know why? Because you got to look like the big scary black man. That way the law's gonna get afraid, and you creating this own image where they gonna shoot you down the street what the minister been saying for years.
Sure.
But bam, that's why I say it's a game, and I understand it's a game. But I'm just saying it's a deadly game because people, young folk, getting caught up in the game and want to emulate. But I'm just saying, young folks, if you want to emulate something, like Brother Marcus said earlier, study, research. Don't take nothing as face value. Look at the whole picture. Don't even believe what you hear. Don't believe what you see. Go and analyze that. Analyze that shit, man. Trust me, cause it might look one way, but behind the scene, They chopping it up like 50 Cent. Apparently, I'm hearing that 50 Cent was like, vote for Trump. Yeah, because he voting his best interest. Hell, Trump ain't. Hell, Biden trying to cut. If you make 400,000 and up, he trying to get in your taxes. So of course, if I'm making 400,000 and up, I'm saying, "Okay, Trump, get on in, and leave my money alone." You know, but at the same time, I go make a song, have folk dancing in the club and enjoying themselves and whatnot. But when it comes to my financial situation, I ain't involved in that shit. You know what I'm saying? That's what they saying. I finna get my bread.
It's hard to take 50 Cent seriously about anything anyway. But for him, I would say I never did see him technically say vote for Trump.
Right.
I hear him saying, "Damn Biden, don't vote for him," because he crazy about this tax plan he got here.
Right.
Because that means something to him, like you say.
Right.
But 50 Cent, he play games, so I wouldn't even consider him in the conversation, man. He's just. It's more serious than that, than what 50 brings to the table.
Right, but with his show and his music and power and Ghost and the platform he got is so large, people listen to celebrities.
Yeah. And see, those people there, there's not a whole lot of hope in them with the short amount of time that we're talking about. If we speaking specifically about an election coming up in 2 weeks, they out of there. I see them all the time. You can't tell them nothing anyway. It don't matter how much truth and logic you come with. They are stuck on stupid.
Mm-hmm.
So 50 got a few of them, and they gonna roll with 50, just like 30% gonna roll with Trump. Everybody, a lot of people got their corners they in, and that's where they gonna be at.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The overall picture is what we need to remember is that we don't need to keep running to them and they establishments to solve our problems.
Right.
We're trying to. And
you right, because they see us still in their eyesight, they still see us as slaves. The reason why Obama could run and get in, because his last name was Obama. He didn't carry a slave name. Right. Just got to put it out there, man. We, in our actions and how we deal with white folks, we come to them as if we slaves. Look here, master. You need to start treating us right, and I demand you to do so and so, right? But he like, look here, yeah, okay, I'm being demanded by my former slave that I need to get them so and so. I need to do this here. Okay, well, I tell you what, former slave, if I don't do it, what you gonna do? That's how they say.
The former slave messed up when he went to him talking about this is what you got to do.
Yeah.
Why you even spending your energy like that?
Right. Fact, man. Why we can't say, and I'm just speaking it, because Cube is addressing the pain of Black America. Right. Because, yeah, we in pain. I mean, damn, man, every week we gotta turn on the TV and see another melanated brother get shot up by the police. And now blacks are so scared to where attorney generals and police chiefs and black people that's in high positions are now suppressing evidence. They so scared they working along with the colonizer. Afraid they're gonna lose their job and whatnot, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a crazy time that we're living in. So why don't we Why don't everybody? Even I got a platform. Why don't all these black folk with these platforms and these podcasts and radio shows and these celebrities and entertainers and activists and we all saying the same thing, but we ain't came together yet.
Well, we're not all saying the same thing, but
okay. Well, meaning okay, you right, but I mean,
I know you want to give them credit, but we ain't got time for that either. You know what I'm saying? For me, because I'm just gonna say that right now.
Yes, sir.
Everybody ain't speaking the way you speaking on Verbal Pig Radio, and everybody ain't corresponding the way I'm corresponding on Verbal Pig Radio.
Yes, sir.
You got a whole lot of handkerchief heads out here that's speaking for the enemy, speaking for their former slave masters, against anything that look like we gonna rise up and get some kind of power and leverage over our own existence.
Right.
Just for a little seat at the table with the enemy.
Right. We haven't they know he don't use no new tricks though, Brother Mark.
No.
So haven't we realized by now that, look at me, everything, let's go back and look at all the inventions that was created by black people, all the way from the cell phone to the young lady who used her mathematical skills in order to land the first space shuttle to the moon. Just look at all the accomplishments I'm not even talking about what we did prior to slavery, like the first universities in Timbuktu and all of that, pyramids and whatnot. I'm talking about what we accomplished just right here in 400 years right here in the Americas, right? And haven't we noticed that every time we did a great feat, for some reason they felt like they had to suppress it, they had to take it over, they had to not talk about it so it can die out of the history books, but yet at the same time they studied it, learned it, and used it for their benefit. All the way down to rap music, hip hop, all the way down to rock and roll. Took it from Chuck Berry and my brother that just died, Little Richard. You know what I mean? Look at jazz. They jumping in jazz, R&B. I mean rap. They taking that. We giving it to them though. But I'm just simply saying. And every time they get in, they take it over and they push us out the way. And the sad part about it is we invite them in.
Yeah.
Then they get in it, and once they come in it, with their energy and their spirit and stumbling and tripping all over the place and using slow motion to make it look like they could dance in the whole nine, it gets so whack to us. It's like, oh man, it ain't even. You can have that shit. It's just like black folks from prior to Vietnam and in Vietnam would come with the handshake. Soon as white folk tried to do it, we had to get another handshake. We had to go do this here. You know what I mean? Because it wasn't the same when they put their non-energetic energy into what we was doing. It was like, it just don't have that same flavor, man, that same soul. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And then at the end of the day, they making money off of it. We get left with nothing. Like JJ, he can't say Dino Mike. They copyrighted it. Snatched it out from abundance. You know what I'm saying? It just, but I'm saying this to say that after all it is, and we complain about mistreatment, then the only solution is what Honorable Elijah Muhammad said. We got to separate. I'm sorry, black. I know y'all don't want to lead the slave master. No, like y'all don't want to separate. I understand that, but for your sanity, for your sanctity, separate me. To save your mindset, just to get you some peace while you on this planet. I don't even think, Brother Mark, I could be wrong, but I don't think we even experienced true peace and happiness in 400 years since we've been here. I mean, of a paradigm of just relaxation and not having to white police officer flip them lights on you and you wonder if you finna die here today. And have we lived and really expressed that's true freedom and relaxation?
No, we've been held we've been under captivity. So there's ain't no peace under captivity. That wouldn't make sense. We still captives. Still captives, you know, but for the last 60 years, we've been willing captives because there's no more excuse for being captives after supreme wisdom come on the scene.
Right.
That frees you up from your captivity.
That's right. Fact. Now, before we get out of here, I'm going to use one more analogy. That way, hopefully, everybody get it. And I got to say this, though, on Verbal Pick Radio, that everybody that listens to it. I got people that listen to this show that's bankers, scientists, lawyers, doctors, hustlers, you name it. Right. So, we try to, people that's on lockdown, so we try to accommodate something for each listener. So when you hear us say separate or we need to build on our own land, that's going to take investors. When we talk about investment, that's going to take financial advisors to show you how to manage and save your money, right? If you hustling, and let me say this though, and what I learned in my experience in grinding, the streets is the truest form of discipline and organization, because the rate of speed that it moves, and because of consequences, meaning you're going to do it or you're not going to do it, because it leaves little room for people that's half-stepping because they get exposed real quick and then they get dealt with. You know, when you in the game, it's like, you be here, look, example. And not saying I am, I'm just example across the board. If you say, meet me at 8 p.m. to do a drop, and I'm sitting with some weight, and it got to go down, I don't have time to be sitting nowhere with no weight, and you 30 minutes late. It's repercussions for that. You know, your time is valuable. You early, if not you on time, in a sense, because in the business world you might get scolded or you might get doxed and pay, but in the streets you could lose your life behind incidents like that. So when we talk about accountability, and we saying we connecting, because Trump moves like a mob boss. Trump moves like the mafia. So I'm giving game information on how to deal within this construct of this American system. Because Brother Mark, what was that, the movie you alluded to, what, Gangs in New York?
Yes, sir.
When they first started off, these was gangs.
Yes,
Moving
sir.
like gangs, huh?
Yes, sir.
All right, man, you know.
See, but what you touching on is the problem. It's the number one problem that we have, which is that we're not ready or willing to take on the responsibility of being independent.
Okay.
So we're going to keep running to the one that gave us something to do all the time, gave us the time to show up at work, gave us the time to go on break, gave us the time to get paid, gave us the time to be off, gave us a holiday to go party, gave us the time to come back from the holiday, gave us the vacation time, gave us the time to come back from the vacation, gave us this amount of tax out the wages, that amount of taxes out the wages, gave us every goddamn thing. So we're not really ready to be responsible, like you say, If I say I'm going to be somewhere at a certain time and you're not there, then guess what? I can't go call the cops. So something going to have to happen, though, in order for you to know that you messing with my time. So now you see gangster shit happening.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But you're right. That's one good way of looking at or getting a feel of being an independent person and an independent people, because you have to be responsible for your brother. You have to be your brother's keeper as well as yourself.
Come on.
You can't depend on somebody else's philosophy and doctrine to take hold of your brother's mind so that, you know, the cops over there gonna get you if you don't do the right thing. You have to be already in your heart wanting to do the right thing.
Come on.
And you gotta have the way to do it, but first it starts with the will and the heart to even want to be doing the right thing, the independent man.
Right.
To be a businessman. And that's why a lot of people can't really touch on what 50 and Cube is thinking and the way they feel about what's going on. And they want to dog them out because they're really speaking from their own interests. They haven't been going to work and living paycheck to paycheck from week to week like you have.
Right.
But that don't mean that they shouldn't voice their opinion about the way this thing is going to affect them.
Right.
This is a democracy, remember?
Right.
This is supposed to be a free country, remember?
That's right.
So if you say Cube and 50 are not supposed to have an opinion and speak it, then now you denying them the rights that you say you want.
Right. Fact.
They can say that,
That's
but
right.
where's your mind at?
You right.
How come you don't already understand that what they saying may not be better for you or the majority of the people? Why you got to dog them and what they say?
Right.
Why you so afraid of what the people going to do behind what they say?
Right.
Now I ain't got enough people to come and vote like me because 50 said something.
Right.
Well, then you got the damn problem. It ain't 50 speaking because that's the way he feel in his world and his mind.
Right.
Think about it.
Yeah.
He's been an independent person, though.
Right. He can do that. Cube, he did doing business with other countries, leaders of other countries.
And that's what I'm trying to get a lot of people to understand.
Right.
Cube ain't been where you been in the last 20, 30 years. Cube been taking care of business.
Right.
Cube has been doing what you lay down at night and dream about.
So
And Cube been doing what you kill before you go to work. You kill the dream that Cube is living every day in order to go to work every day.
right.
So don't be mad at Cube because he coming to try to give you a way to live the way he living.
Right.
Ain't that kind of crazy if you really think about it?
Right.
He trying to throw you a life rope and you cussing him out.
Right. He's saying
Because he ain't cheering for the fucking one of your enemies,
right,
Biden.
for Biden. Right. Yeah.
Because he ain't cheerleading like you. You denying the rope that he throwing you to get your ass up out of the water and stop drowning.
Yeah. Well, once what's it, Claiborne, whatever, Pastor. Once he pointed and knighted Biden, then it just was on.
That's right. Because Bernie was taking people into a independent, what they call quote unquote progressive movement.
Right.
You know, so I guess they had enough donors and they had enough lobbyists to come and say, hey, Clyburn, you know what I'm saying? You good for it. Get on out there and do that dance.
Yeah.
And he did it.
Yeah, he did.
You know what I'm saying? And it worked. That's what we are.
Yeah.
Everybody know, and even the ones that want to vote for Biden know Biden ain't shit.
Right.
You know Biden done fucked us over. You know Biden ain't no better than Trump. He just the quiet one of the two. But people just so tired of Trump. They and they're so afraid of what Trump might do next that they're willing to just go and vote for Biden. Okay, fine. But don't get mad at people for thinking independently. So don't say just because Cube ain't rolling with Biden, he a sellout. Now you acting like Trump with his executive order.
Right.
You trying to twist the game and spin it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You the sellout because you sell yourself out every day.
Right.
for going and committing to the enemy every damn day. How about Cube out there living the dream and trying to give you a way into the dream that he lived?
Right.
Who the sellout?
That's right.
And who's being sold out?
That's right. Because Cube did say, I put the plan on the table for whoever, Biden or Trump. Biden rejected it. Trump said we're going to look at it.
I told everybody what I was doing. Those are the key words to let you know that you need to go talk to your congressman and your congresswoman that been there 20, 30 years and ain't doing shit. And you need to go talk to your celebrities and your favorite rapper and your favorite singer and your favorite actors and ask them why they ain't doing the same thing Cube doing, because maybe Cube done already presented that to them. And Cube ain't the type of person to say, well, you know, MC such and such didn't want to get down with me.
Right, yeah, he ain't calling no names.
Cube ain't gonna do that.
Right.
He ain't called no name yet, have he?
No, he ain't called no names.
He ain't called no name.
Yeah.
But he keeps saying, I told everybody what I was going to do.
Ain't nobody want to ride with me.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right. And that's how it go, man. Yeah, you know, it's like that. You know, or in the beginning, they were like, yeah, we with you, we gonna ride with you. But then when he got closer, he looked behind him, everybody gone.
Well, the NAACP needs to shut the fuck up. I'm going to call a couple of names.
Yeah.
And people like Mark Thompson, he can keep his mouth closed because he's irrelevant as Al Sharpton is. Because these Negroes ain't doing nothing but mouthpiecing for the enemy.
Right.
They slowing down progress.
Right.
They want us to dance the way they dancing for the few pennies that they getting, as long as you ain't getting more pennies than them.
Right, yeah. The colonizer give them an agenda, and they got to go out there and convince the people to buy into it.
Al Sharpton was the one that clipped Byron Allen and sent everybody back to 1966, Civil Rights Movement. All the things that they did is washed because of Al Sharpton.
Yeah.
Now go tell Martin Luther King that.
Right. Yeah, he did want to, just so he can get him a show on MSNBC.
We saw it.
Yeah.
We saw what happened. So we can't say Cube the seller. I don't give a. I don't.
Ain't no
you know, people need just gone on. You know what I'm saying?
No, he ain't sold out. He didn't sell out at all. He tried. He tried to go to the colonizer and say, hey, look, man, this is what we want. This is what we need. Do you have it in you to oblige it?
And he could have been doing it at the wrong time, or maybe he was doing it at the right time.
It was the right time.
Because how many times do we get together other than standing in front of the crab shack? You know what I'm saying? Right. Standing, you know, right. or trying to get some goddamn Jordans or Black Friday.
That's right.
How many times do we get together on something?
No, cute.
Like we getting together now to go against Trump.
Right.
For Biden. So maybe it was, you know, he felt like it was the right time. No, because you niggas don't want to do nothing together.
That's right. And it's the perfect time because by the notoriety that Cube has, if this don't wake black people up to what we actually dealing with, then I don't know what is. This man Cube, that's what, as I said, stated on the other show, it reminds me of it, to get biblical in the sense of everybody trying, like, such as Abraham, man, can I find one? You're going to do one good thing for black people. You know, Cube like, look, here go my agenda on the table. Man, what are you going to do? Because we tired of this shit. It's rolled out nicely. It's a contract with Black America. You say you're not racist. Biden, you want to get in office. You say you're not black if you don't vote for me. So, okay, we'll go something from black people. What you want to do? He kicked it out the door. Trump said we're going to look at it. But the thing about it is it's in the open now. Now we want to see which parts, no matter who get in office. Because Biden say he going to look at it if he win after the election. Trump say he going to look at it now. We'll say by March, out of the points that's on the C.B.A. contract with Black America, which one I'm going to implement it. Implement something out of it. And if they don't implement nothing out of it, I mean, we're going to dog their trail. We're going to have to be out there boycotting. We got to do something. That's my point. This man put this thing on the table. He put it out there. It makes sense. Stuff that we do need, you know. And when we not meaning, what I'm saying is that would show if they have any concern, any care. They should leave nothing on the table, no doubt whatsoever. Now we can go on and start dealing with what we got to do. Because they done showed us in so many different shapes, forms, and fashions that they don't give a shit about us. Like Michael Jackson say, they don't give a damn about us. Right? Maybe this will be the final blow to where we understand, okay, they don't, hey man, what more can we do? You know, that this might be it, bro. This might be the final one. Damn, you know. Okay, because what else can we do, though, brother Mark? We did everything, didn't we? Anything left on the table we didn't try to do to get them to show we good people and we want to get along and let's stop the racism and let's stop the police brutality. Is there anything left on the table?
Man, there's 1,000 more things we can do to try to show them that we want their acceptance. We can scrub, we can do all kind of shit. But what we still gonna need to do before it's said and done is look to ourselves. And hold your money from them and spend it with yourself.
Come on.
If you want to, if that sounds too much of like a broad thing, unity. It's like unity is like a cliche now. If you keep saying it. You heard it so many times. It's like a cliche. You know, it's like a rerun on the television.
Yeah.
But let me talk practical about it. Hold your dollar.
That's right.
And watch and see what happens.
That's right. Come on.
Because that's really all you are is a commodity. You are the gross national product of the United States of America because of your spending power. What was the first thing they did when the economic COVID crisis happened? They ran and got you some money and gave it to you. Right. To do what? Because they know you're gonna spend it.
Right.
They ain't give it to the corporations and bail out all these big boys as much this time. Because now we're talking about a pandemic. We're not talking about a 2008. Right. We caused the recession
right.
in Wall Street and with insurance and with housing crisis. We're talking about something that they really can't rein in and have control over, a pandemic. So shit, we gonna go in quarantine and give these niggas some money so they can go spend and keep the economy going.
Right.
Because that's what capitalism is. It's supply and demand. If ain't nobody spending no money, then it freezes.
Right.
They know that.
That's right.
And that's why they holding the money. Because they want to see who you gonna vote for.
Right.
Before they break bread again with you.
That's right.
Biden said you wait till after the election. And Nancy Pelosi is saying the same thing. We want to wait till after the... Yeah, she said 48 hours. If it ain't nothing happening in 48 hours, it ain't going to happen until after the election. That's just another way of saying y'all motherfuckers going to have to wait till after the election.
That's right.
So Trump come back. He's still trying to campaign. He come back and say, well, do something. Whatever you do, I'm going to do better.
Yeah.
And so if Nancy Pelosi has so much love for you, then she would have said, okay, well then I'm going to do this then.
Right.
Stop me.
Come on.
But what she say? Nah, 48 hours after the election.
That's right, yeah, we had deal then.
You see the game they playing with you because you are the gross national product of the United States of America.
That's right. That's right.
You are a commodity, you are a piece of property, and you're a spending power because they ain't going to spend theirs, they're going to hoard theirs, they're going to keep theirs. So why don't you get wise? And if you're going to spend with yourself.
That's right. Right. Take a page out some of these foreigners, from the Asians to these different foreigners who set up their grocery stores and shops and deal with each other, their insurance companies, and move around and just, deal with people that look like them, We can do the same thing.
That's right. We must do the same thing.
But we got to get on that though, Brother Mark, because as one episode we broke down voting and voting interest. Next, we're going to have to break down capitalism so everybody can understand the power or the concept of capitalism and how that they can benefit and gain and gain out of a capitalistic society to where it benefits the individual, right? Because I'm thinking that, I mean, we got to cover all angles, man, because I'm thinking that we would be more into the capitalistic system if we really understood how it's going to benefit us. Because they made sure that they kept us in the slave. They made sure that they didn't change too much after slavery, because, you know, in slavery they provided the little shacks in the back, and they provided the clothes and the food, and we made chitlins out of it and whatnot. And they doing the same thing today. They providing the housing and they providing the food, make something, keeping that same mindset. But if the people reversed and did a 180 and studied capitalism, they might find out that, you know, I can make this work for me, and I'm able to do a little bit more. You know, so we'll break that down
yes, sir.
on a podcast soon. But Brother Mark, as always, man, appreciate your intellect and appreciate having you on the show.
Thank you, bro.
Sir, Verbal Pick Radio. We out.